The Black Knights, fear and infamy of the Waffen-SS. The Waffen-SS. The very name evokes a chilling mix of awe and revulsion. They were Hitler's elite fanatical soldiers indoctrinated in Nazi ideology. Their battlefield prowess was undeniable. They were feared for their tenacity and ruthlessness. Yet, their history is stained with war crimes and atrocities. The Waffen-SS were more than just soldiers. They were a symbol of Nazi terror. This essay delves into the history of the Waffen-SS, particularly their armored units. We will explore their formation, training, and tactics. We will examine their role in key battles on both the Eastern and Western fronts. Importantly, we will grapple with the disturbing ideology that fueled their actions. The story of the Waffen-SS is a cautionary tale. It reminds us of the dangers of unchecked fanaticism. It forces us to confront the dark side of human nature. Ultimately, it compels us to seek a deeper understanding of the complex relationship between war and ideology. Forging fanaticism, the creation of Hitler's elite. The origins of the Waffen-SS can be traced back to the early days of the Nazi Party. They began as a small, elite bodyguard unit for Hitler known as the Schutzstaffel, SS. Heinrich Himmler, a ruthless and ambitious Nazi leader, transformed the SS into a powerful organization. Under Himmler's guidance, the SS grew rapidly. It expanded beyond its initial bodyguard role. The Waffen-SS, the armed wing of the SS, was formally established in 1940. It was intended to be a racially pure, elite fighting force. Recruits were carefully selected based on their physical and ideological fitness. Training for the Waffen-SS was brutal and demanding. It emphasized physical endurance, weapons proficiency, and absolute obedience. Indoctrination played a key role. Recruits were bombarded with Nazi propaganda. They were taught to see themselves as the master race, destined to rule over inferior peoples. This intense training and indoctrination created a formidable fighting force. Waffen-SS units were known for their aggression, tenacity, and willingness to fight to the death. However, it also produced soldiers who were often fanatical and brutal. This would have devastating consequences on the battlefields of World War II. Blitzkrieg and beyond, the tactics of the Black Order. The Waffen-SS were at the forefront of Germany's early victories in World War II. They were instrumental in the Blitzkrieg, the lightning war that swept across Poland and France. Their armored units equipped with panzer tanks were particularly effective. Waffen-SS tank tactics emphasized speed, aggression, and shock. They often bypassed enemy strongpoints, aiming to encircle and destroy enemy forces. Their commanders were encouraged to take risks and exploit breakthroughs. This aggressive approach, while often successful, also led to heavy casualties. As the war progressed, the Waffen-SS faced increasingly determined opposition. They adapted their tactics, becoming more adept at defensive warfare. However, their core principles of aggression and tenacity remained unchanged. They gained a reputation for their stubborn defense and their willingness to launch fierce counterattacks. The Waffen-SS fought with a ferocity that often surprised their opponents. Their successes were due in part to their training and leadership. However, their fanaticism and belief in Nazi ideology also played a significant role. This made them both formidable opponents and perpetrators of terrible atrocities. From the Eastern Front to Normandy, key battles of the Waffen-SS. The Waffen-SS fought on nearly every front of World War II. They saw action in Poland, France, the Balkans, North Africa, and Italy. However, it was on the Eastern Front against the Soviet Union that they truly earned their reputation. The Eastern Front was a brutal theater of war. The fighting was characterized by its ferocity, its scale, and its inhumanity. The Waffen-SS were heavily engaged in this struggle. They participated in key battles such as the Battle of Kharkov, the Battle of Kursk, and the Warsaw Uprising. In the West, the Waffen-SS faced the Western Allies. They fought in the Battle of Normandy, the Battle of the Bulge, and the final defense of Germany. Their actions in Normandy, particularly the massacre of Canadian prisoners of war, further cemented their reputation for brutality. Throughout the war, the Waffen-SS were involved in numerous atrocities. They participated in the mass murder of Jews, Roma, and other groups deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. Their actions were driven by a toxic mix of fanaticism, racism, and a warped sense of duty. The battles fought by the Waffen-SS were not just military engagements. They were clashes of ideologies, of cultures, and of humanity itself. The Waffen-SS, fueled by Nazi ideology, fought with a brutality that shocked even their enemies. Their legacy is one of both military prowess and unspeakable crimes. Section 5. Men of Iron, Commanders of the Waffen-SS. The Waffen-SS produced a number of skilled and ruthless commanders. These men were responsible for both the military successes and the atrocities committed by their units. Understanding their backgrounds and motivations is crucial to understanding the Waffen-SS as a whole. One of the most well-known Waffen-SS commanders was Joachim Peiper. A charismatic and ruthless officer, Peiper led the 1st SS Panzer Division Leibstandarte SS Adolf Hitler. He was known for his aggressive tactics and his unwavering loyalty to Hitler. Peiper was implicated in numerous war crimes, including the massacre of American prisoners of war at Malmedy. Another prominent commander was Paul Hauser, a veteran of World War I. Hauser played a key role in the development of the Waffen-SS. He commanded SS Panzer Corps during the Battle of Kursk, one of the largest tank battles in history. Hauser was a capable commander, but he was also a committed Nazi who shared the regime's racist ideology. These commanders and many others like them shaped the Waffen-SS into a formidable fighting force. However, they also bear responsibility for the numerous war crimes committed by their units. Their stories are a stark reminder of how charisma, military skill, and fanaticism can be a dangerous combination. Section 6. Blood-stained ideals, the dark heart of the SS. To understand the Waffen-SS, one must confront the disturbing ideology that fueled their actions. They were not simply soldiers fighting for their country. They were fanatical adherents to Nazi ideology, a toxic brew of racism, anti-Semitism, and extreme nationalism. The SS, and by extension the Waffen-SS, saw themselves as the vanguard of a new order. They believed in the superiority of the Aryan race and the inferiority of other races, particularly Jews and Slavs. This racist ideology permeated every aspect of their existence. The Waffen-SS were indoctrinated with the belief that they were engaged in a racial war for the survival of the German people. They were taught to see their enemies as subhuman, unworthy of mercy. This dehumanization of the enemy made it easier for them to commit acts of unspeakable brutality. The ideology of the Waffen-SS was not merely a theoretical construct. It had a very real and terrifying impact on the battlefield. It fueled the mass murder of civilians, the execution of prisoners of war, and the systematic brutality that characterized the Nazi regime. Section 8. The price of fanaticism, impact, and legacy of the Waffen-SS. The Waffen-SS left a complex and troubling legacy. They were undoubtedly a formidable fighting force, feared by their enemies for their tenacity and skill. However, their history is inextricably linked to war crimes and atrocities that defy comprehension. The Waffen-SS played a significant role in the German war effort. They fought with a ferocity that often surprised their opponents. Their successes, however, came at a terrible cost. The Waffen-SS suffered heavy casualties throughout the war. Their fanaticism often led them to fight to the death, even in hopeless situations. More importantly, the Waffen-SS were responsible for some of the most horrific crimes of World War II. They participated in the Holocaust, the systematic murder of 6 million Jews. They also committed atrocities against other groups, including Roma, Soviet prisoners of war, and civilians in occupied territories. After the war, the Waffen-SS were condemned as a criminal organization. Their crimes shocked the world and left an indelible stain on Germany's history. The legacy of the Waffen-SS serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of extremism, racism, and unchecked power. Section 9. A World at War. Reflections on Conflict and Ideology. The story of the Waffen-SS is a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature. It shows how easily ideology can be used to justify violence and brutality. It also highlights the importance of understanding the historical context in which such events occur. The Waffen-SS were a product of their time. They emerged from the chaos and despair of post-World War I Germany. The economic hardship, political instability, and wounded national pride of that era created fertile ground for extremist ideologies like Nazism to take root. However, understanding the historical context does not excuse the crimes of the Waffen-SS. Their actions were the result of choices made by individuals. They chose to embrace hatred, to dehumanize their enemies, and to carry out acts of unspeakable cruelty. The story of the Waffen-SS is a cautionary tale. It reminds us of the fragility of peace and the ever-present danger of extremism. It also underscores the importance of critical thinking, empathy, and a commitment to justice. By learning from the past, we can strive to create a more just and peaceful future.